Welcome to the Weekday Report for Friday, June 27th. I'm Joe Potente. Here's a brief look at the news. All students at 17 Kenosha Unified schools will receive free breakfast and lunch through a new program approved this week. The district will participate in the federal program, which allows schools with high percentages of students in poverty to provide free meals regardless of income requirements. 17 unified schools qualified, all of which have more than 65% of students already qualifying for free and reduced price lunch. Last winter's extreme cold is still rearing its head, now in the form of fog. Janine Anderson filed this report.
The unusually persistent fog that keeps rolling in off Lake Michigan is a remnant of this year's very cold winter. The lake is about 12 degrees colder than normal. When the humid air mass that has settled over the area hits the cold water, the fog builds, and with very little wind, it stays put. The National Weather Service says we should get relief by early next week, but it could return if conditions are right. For the Kenosha News, this is Janine Anderson.
Thanks, Janine. Kenosha's Civic Veterans Parade is Sunday, and it will sport an All-American baseball theme. This year's parade headliners include Hall of Fame Chicago Cubs pitcher Fergie Jenkins, Kenosha Kingfish manager Duffy Dyer, and Joyce Westerman, a Kenosha native who played in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League in the 1940s and 50s. The parade steps off at 1 p.m. at 63rd Street and 22nd Avenue, continuing north and east around Library Park and through downtown. A full lineup appears in today's Kenosha News. Bill Guida has this week's Fix-It feature on a stretch of 42nd Avenue that some call Burma Road.
Today's problem, you get a bunch of bounce per ounce driving these two blocks of 42nd Avenue from 83rd to 85th Street in Pleasant Prairie. That can be a pain in the shocks, springs, and other things. Some neighbors refer to it as Burma Road. One rules it way worse than the infamously wretched stretch of 27th Street from 30th to 39th Avenue. Fix-It finds the nickname and the comparison to that segment of 27th Street, well, overly exaggerated. Still, driving the short, very bad road here at the 25-mile-per-hour speed limit can shake you up a bit. The unfortunate news, John Steinbrink Jr., the Village Public Works Director, told Fix-It, while he is well aware of the road surface problems, lack of funding for the needed improvements means it isn't on his priority list for pavement fixes. Not this year, not next year. However, Steinbrink aims to develop forward-looking capital improvement plan for village streets as a blueprint for borrowing and spending to fund, quote, a more aggressive, unquote, plan for village roadways. This is Bill Guida reporting for Fix-It and your Kenosha News.
Thanks, Bill. What's trending today? Is it the marching bands, the floats, the classic cars? What's your favorite part of the Kenosha Civic Veterans Parade? Tell us on our Facebook page. Up next is the debut of a new feature, Facebook Feedback. As usual, Kenosha News Facebook followers had plenty to say this week about a variety of topics. Regarding Kenosha Unified's decision to move its Festival of Arts and Flowers from Lincoln Park, combining it with the Kenosha Art Fair at the Public Museum, Margaret Heller said, "Great idea." Amy Durway said it will be a great festival wherever it is held, but Lincoln Park needs something special too. The gardens are gorgeous there. And Leslie Meelan said, "I don't agree. We need to promote Lincoln Park and its beauty, not give more reasons to stay out of the neighborhood." We asked readers if they feel safe in their homes after a recent rash of burglaries in two Pleasant Prairie subdivisions. Rob Brookover said, "All the more reason to be armed." Joe Unrein said, "Jesus, I pray you reveal the thieves and bring them to justice soon." And Amanda Hodgson said, "Well, I used to." On a lighter note, readers chimed in on the Goliath, the new roller coaster at Six Flags Great America. We asked people if they're a fan of record-breaking coasters or if they stay away at all costs. Teresa Aiello said, "Love them, and yes, I would ride that one." "Not in my lifetime," said Jack L. Peterson. And Dan Nofke said, "As a coaster enthusiast, I love to see local theme parks building state-of-the-art coasters." Become a part of the conversation at facebook.com/Kenosha News and check back here next Friday for more feedback. Now here's a look at what we're working on today. Janine Anderson will have a follow-up on the car versus train crash in Pleasant Prairie late Wednesday. And correspondent Daniel Gaitan has this week's Sunday Choice feature, a look at evolving attitudes about same-sex marriage. Pick up a copy of the Kenosha News and check KenoshaNews.com for all the details on these stories and more. I'm Joe Potente with the Weekday Report.